Take a look at this. It looks totally harmless, right? Something you'd find in any backpack or on an office desk. But what if I told you that this little thing could be one of the most dangerous hacking tools ever created? Seriously. Today, we're going to dig into the crazy story of how a simple calculator, something made for algebra class, can become a weapon that breaches a secure network in just a matter of seconds.
So think about it for a second. What would make the perfect hacking tool? I mean, it's got to be powerful, obviously, super fast, but maybe most important of all, it has to be completely invisible. Something nobody would ever suspect. Something you could walk right past security with and they wouldn't even blink. Well, as it turns out, this humble calculator, it checks every single box.
This thing really has two different faces. On the one hand, yeah, it's a calculator. It does what you'd expect, solve for X, plots a few graphs, high school math stuff. But then there's its secret identity. It's a weapon, a tool that can snatch passwords, blow past security, and give an attacker total remote control over a locked computer. The question is, how on earth is that even possible?
All right, let's get into it. How can this $15 piece of plastic take down a security system that costs millions? You might think it's some super complex code, but it's not. The secret is actually way simpler, and it all comes down to exploiting a huge, fundamental blind spot in the way our computers are designed to think.
And that blind spot, it's all about trust. See, our computers are built to trust certain things without question, and they have this incredible blind faith in one of the most common everyday devices we all use. That blind trust, well, that's the key that unlocks this whole attack.
Okay, so the fancy term for this is human interface device spoofing, HID spoofing for short. But all that really means is that the calculator lies about what it is. It's like a digital imposter. When you plug it into a computer, it doesn't say, hey, I'm a calculator. Nope, it says, hey, I'm a keyboard, and I'm ready to start typing.
And that right there, that's the core of the whole problem. I mean, just think about it. The last time you plugged in a new keyboard, did your computer stop and ask for a password? Did it run a virus scan on it? Of course not. It just assumes, oh, a keyboard, cool, and it immediately starts listening for commands. It just obeys. And that flawed logic is the wide open door the attacker just walks right through. You plug in a device, it says, I'm a keyboard, and boom, the computer gives it the power to type whatever it wants. No questions asked, at all. Okay, so we've covered the how. Now for the main event, the breach itself. We've talked theory, but what does this actually look like when it happens? Let's watch just how fast a system can fall when this trick is used.
So, picture this. An attacker walks up to a computer. It's locked, but it's on. They don't have the password, not even close. All they've got is this calculator. They plug it in, and the clock starts ticking. Now.
But here's the thing. There's no person typing here. This is a pre-loaded script, a payload, firing off commands at lightning speed, way faster than any human could ever type. Before you can even blink, it's already opened the command prompt, told the computer to download a malicious file, run that file, and set up a secret backdoor for remote access. And the time it takes for all of that to happen, less than 2 seconds. Seriously, by the time someone even notices something flashing on the screen, the attack is already done. It's over. And just like that, it's game over. The attacker just unplugs the calculator, slips it in their pocket, and casually walks away. But now, they own that computer, they can get into it from anywhere on the planet, all from a physical attack that took less time than it takes to tie your shoes. So you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool trick, but is it real? Is this just something security nerds do to show off? Oh, absolutely not. Let's talk about how this has gone from a neat idea to a very real, very powerful threat out in the wild. And this is not theoretical at all. Pen testers, the ethical hackers who companies hire to find their security holes, they use this kind of attack all the time. In fact, it's so common it has a nickname, the rubber ducky attack, named after a famous little USB tool that does the same thing. One researcher even proved the point by modifying a classic TI-84 calculator to pull this off, making it even sneakier. I mean, it's basically the Trojan horse for the digital age, right? Security guards are trained to look for suspicious laptops or weird USB sticks. But a calculator? Nobody's going to look twice at a calculator. It just gets waved right through security, carrying its hidden digital army inside. So really, when someone walks into a secure building holding one of these, they're not carrying a tool for solving equations. They're carrying a master key.
It's the digital equivalent of a lockpick set that can open pretty much any computer they can get their hands on.
Okay, I know this all sounds pretty scary, and it is, but here's the good news. The way you defend against this super high-tech attack is surprisingly low-tech. So let's talk about how you stop a calculator from hacking you.
It really all boils down to one thing: physical control of your ports. The most extreme solution, literally just glue your un-USB ports shut. Yeah, epoxy or special plugs can do the trick. A more, let's say, practical solution is to use software that creates a whitelist of approved devices. That way, if some random unknown keyboard suddenly gets plugged in, the computer is smart enough to just ignore it completely.
And this brings us to the biggest takeaway from all of this. We spend so much time thinking about cybersecurity in terms of firewalls and antivirus and complex passwords, but this attack proves that none of that matters. Not one bit. If an attacker can just walk up and plug something into your machine. It's a powerful reminder. Physical security is cybersecurity. They're the same. It's a little chilling, but it's such an important lesson. In the world we live in now, the line between a harmless tool and a powerful weapon is getting blurrier every single day. That old calculator sitting on a desk isn't just a calculator anymore. It has a hidden life, a hidden potential, that really forces us to think differently about security. And that leaves me with one last question for you. Now that you've seen how an ordinary, everyday calculator can be turned into a weapon, I want you to just take a look around. Look at your own desk right now. What's the most overlooked thing there? What's the most innocent-looking device that maybe, just maybe, could be a security risk? Think about it. The answer might just surprise you.